So welcome back in another episode of Decoy Noise, where I'm going to be covering another Am I the Antagonist thread that is, am I the antagonist for telling my roommate that just because she cooked for me using my ingredients doesn't mean she gets to eat my food? So in another episode of Furlough Decoy Noise, where I'm just gonna give myself a new tattoo every day, gonna let my hair just kind of grow out and become just a mess, and let my facial hair become as patchy and stringy as possible. If you want to see me kind of descend in madness right now, make sure you subscribe down below, and also let me know which subscriber count you are, the subscriber number you are in the comments, and let me know how the growth is, how 2 videos a day is, and just because you want to see how bad this gets. So, I mean, let's just step into the video, because this one's gonna be very interesting, because I think that I have good information on this. Everybody has like roommates from heck stories, so let's get into this. I am a chef who recently was laid off due to the world's current situation. I live with one roommate, Claire. In regards to my job, it is both a blessing and a curse that I was laid off because I didn't particularly like my job. Cooking has always been easy and something that I'm good at, and after cooking all day at work, I grew to hate cooking for myself at home. I obviously do it though, and rarely eat stuff that isn't freshly prepared. Okay. Anyhow, Claire knows about my job situation, and also that I don't like to cook. Now that she has more time on her hands, she told me that she's really been into cooking lately. She asked if she could start cooking my meals for me using my ingredients / groceries so that she can get more practice. I said sure, why not? I also think it's important to mention that I am a vegan and Claire isn't. She told me that she wants to practice making more vegan meals since her boyfriend is vegan. She also mentioned that if she made a meal that I didn't like, she'd compensate me for my groceries. Okay, this is all starting. This starts pretty good. So Claire has been making 2 separate meals, one using her own groceries and the other using my stuff. Yesterday, she made a vegan lasagna for me and a meatloaf for herself, but instead of eating the meatloaf, she ate some of the vegan lasagna for both lunch and dinner. I told Claire that while I appreciate that she's making my meals and I'm happy to let her practice using my stuff, I'd also appreciate if she didn't eat my vegan things because I can't eat the stuff that she makes for herself. Okay. She looked really pissed off when I told her that and thinks I'm being ungrateful for the time she's putting into cooking for me. I reminded her that she doesn't have to do it and that she asked me if she could practice cooking. I also reminded her that nowhere in the agreement did I say that she could eat my food. Okay, reasonable. Am I the antagonist for her letting me, or for telling her that just because she cooks for me, she can't eat my food? So, in typical Decoy Noise fashion, I'll give you Decoy Court, where I'm going to give you my knee-jerk opinions, and it's probably wrong, but I'll probably decide to change my mind when I read some of the more sound replies down below, but my knee-jerk reaction is no, she's not the antagonist. As long as the conversation between her and the roommate were as calm and level-headed as all this right here, then it's okay. It's like, I've had roommates where this actually this is something that happened is I would stock the fridge all the time and put stuff in there because my roommate would eat out and wouldn't be around as much, and then suddenly he'd eat some of my food, whatever's in the fridge, and I didn't mind it because we were just stocking the fridge. But then all of a sudden when he started buying himself some food, he would label it like it was just me and him in one apartment. And why, when I buy something, it's just the community's food, and when he bought something, he put a label on it, so it kind of made me mad. But I remember whenever we'd both be home, I'd order like pizzas, and it's like, what is it, the special deal where you can get like it's like 3 for $15 or whatever the deal was back in the day. So it's like we'd order I'd order the 3 pizzas, like, okay, what pizza do you want? And I'm just saying, like, oh, he just like cheese pizza, so I'd order 2 pizzas for me and a cheese pizza for him or whatever, and everything. And then I remember one time he ordered the same thing, the 3 pizza meal, but all 3 of them were cheese, and I'm like, see, why does this only cut the one way? Like, I understand if we were family, this would be a different thing, and if the OP and the girl, Claire, were family, it would make sense that they're all kind of this community thing, but it's like, no, that's her money, those are her ingredients. Like, I understand that you're cooking for me or whatever, but you asked to do it. It'd be different if, like, OP was asking Claire to cook and was relying on her or whatever the case may be. But no, she's doing her a favor and she's turning around and taking advantage of it or whatever. It should have just been as simple as, hey, if you don't want to cook for me, you don't want to practice anymore because you don't want to eat the lasagna, the vegan lasagna you're making for me, then I'll stop cooking for you. And that should have been the end of it. But no, she's trying to be like, all pissy about it. Like, I'm entitled to this because I handle it or whatever. But let's look at some top comments, some controversial comments, and hopefully you guys will also add your comments down below, because I always like to see the, read the Decoy Coy voice. So all my subscribers are the Decoy Coy. I want to hear your voice, and I will read the replies of you guys. It's very, very hard to say. As you can tell, I have a difficulty reading because you watch this channel and you know what it sounds like. So the top comment is, you're the antagonist. If someone cooks for you, they get to eat it too. This isn't a restaurant. This is how it works at home. See, that's the thing, is I think that maybe this person's coming from the perspective of like a family where, yeah, at home everybody gets to eat the food or whatever. These are roommates. Maybe these people met on like Craigslist or something and they're basically strangers. It's hard to say. So the next post is, this might be how it works at home with you and your family, but not with roommates. I'd be pissed if my roommate ate my stuff, even if they cooked it for me. In this situation, OP's roommate asked to cook for OP and cooked 2 different meals, one that OP could eat and the other with meat. It's a jerk move to use all of OP's ingredients to make a vegan meal and then eat the vegan stuff instead of the meatloaf. And that's exactly what it is. As she robbed her of food. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, you want to do yourself a favor. I'm going to do you a favor and let you practice cooking vegan meatloaf with my groceries, like my $100 bill that I have, when she just said that she got laid off, so she's not certain when she's going to be able to buy groceries again, and it's kind of dangerous to go out there and get it anyway. But just the idea that she stole her food because she feels like she's entitled to it. Like, she had food for herself, but she ate the food that she can only eat herself. It's like she's like almost like hoarding at that point. So I mean, I totally get the reply. I don't think that she's the antagonist, but let's read on. Then don't accept your roommate cooking for you. And that's what she's doing. She says, stop cooking for me then. Stop cooking. This is my food or whatever. And the reply to that says, I reminded her that she doesn't have to do it. See, as long, like I said before, as long as OP went to this situation as level-headed as the post sounded like, she's doing everything in the right. Let's look at a reply to that. And if you don't want to share the food, then say no. Don't remind someone that they don't have to. If someone is cooking for you, it's pretty basic etiquette that they get to eat it. If OP doesn't like that, then they can just cook for themselves. And it's one of those things where it's like, I'm glad that there's a kind of a lively discussion between these two people right here, because this is basically what it is. 2 strangers that live together that are trying to, like, you know, resolve their differences. And this just seems like this is the conversation that needs to be had. It's like they're at an impasse, so she just needs to not have her cook for her anymore. She's getting pissy, but, you know, she had to hear it because she's not entitled to the food since she stuck it in the oven or whatever and mixed it. So the next post, you're the antagonist. Cook your own damn food then. Yeah, what? She sounds like she's a roommate right there. Oh my god, I'm all pissy that you don't want me to eat the food that you bought. And the next reply to that was, agree. I just want to add, you're the antagonist. Pay her the cooking fee then if you don't want to cook for yourself. When was there a fee involved? It was just saying, hey, I want to practice cooking. Like, what? The reply is, he doesn't care if she cooks or not. She's the only one that wants her to cook the vegan food. Okay. Did you miss the part where OP is an adult and could have used her adult words to say no? I feel like they're starting to argue with each other on the same side of the coin right now. Like, they both agree that this shouldn't be the thing, but whatever. Next reply, you're the antagonist. It's generally common practice that if someone cooks for you, they're entitled to eat some of it. Tell your roommate you don't want them cooking using your ingredients anymore and go back to making your own food. Problem solved. And that is probably the best solution to this. But the one thing that I'll say is, like, it's common practice that, like, okay, if I'm cooking for everybody and we make 2 meals, I can have either a small plate or like whatever of, like, if we're sitting down to eat. But it looks like she said she made a whole lasagna, so I'm guessing the pan was like this big or whatever. So if maybe that's like her whole week's of food, and so she ate it the first day, and then the second day she said for like lunch and dinner, so she probably ate most of her groceries and was like, hey, that's all I can eat. There's nothing in the fridge for me anymore. I think a lot of these people are like replying from points of where they're living in abundance, where they don't have to worry about starving. You know what I mean? Where like this girl may not have anything in her fridge at all. So it's the situation where it's like, yeah, it's easy to say, hey man, let's give the food to everybody. It's okay. We all have enough or whatever. Not even realizing that some people are food insecure. She had 2 cans of like veggies and 1 can of beans and a little bit of cheese in the fridge. And if she eats all the food, she's done for the week. She just doesn't eat. Period. I think, like, you know, everybody has like these, like, you know, it's good to hear other people's opinions, but I think they're missing the point right here. But let's go on. So he quoted about it. She can practice eating the food, and she can practice cook. I'm sorry, not practice eating the food, but practice eating it or whatever. So it looks like the reply was just saying exactly that. Like, you don't have to eat this if you don't. So, like I said, I like to read the top comments, but then also controversial comments. So make sure you guys are adding your own comments as well, because that's where the real gems are. I like seeing what you guys are doing. And then let me know in the comments also if you want me to do a special video dedicated to your comments, because I don't like it combining two different topics in one video, if you guys can kind of understand that. So the top controversial comment right now is going to be, you're the antagonist. Cook for yourself if you don't like it. The person who cooks gets to eat what they cook. That's such entitlement. Oh my god. But let's see what the reply is. OP didn't ask the roommate to cook for them. The roommate volunteered. If the roommate wants to eat from the same meal, why not just ask OP to purchase double the ingredients, pay for half, and stop making meatloaf? And that's the thing, is just the sense of entitlement right here is the big, like, I think this person says they're entitled to it if they touched it. And then this other person's saying like, hey, if you really wanted it, we could have split the bill or whatever. Like, let's try to like be more realistic about this. But let's read the next top controversial comment. You're the antagonist for sure. In kindergarten, kids learn the value of sharing. Maybe you were sick that day. Nevertheless, there is still plenty of time for you to learn this very valuable lesson. And honestly, it's like, this has got to be a reply from someone that's in the situation where there's enough food to go along. Like in kindergarten, you learn the value of sharing because everybody has the same amount. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about hard times where we don't know the status of her fridge and her income. She was just laid off, so like you got to kind of be more realistic with it. And then also just the idea that that she seems to be taking this well, like, hey, can you not eat my food? Like, you know, just communicating with her, and then they're getting pissy that she's just having a regular conversation. Could you imagine if OP was a big antagonist and she like kicked down the door in her room and like, how dare you eat my food? I need that money or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? This could have gone a very different way, but it seems like she was being a mature adult about it. But I mean, yeah, I guess I'm getting all worked right now. And that's why you like watching this channel, whatever. I took that late. Oh, actually, yes. The uncomfortable Homer GIF does have a place in this because this is all an uncomfortable situation. But what I really want to show you is I took him to decoy court. I'm saying she's not the antagonist. Let me know in the comments down below what you think the situation was. But I mean, if you made it to the end of the video, obviously you like the content, please consider subscribing down below and letting me know which subscriber number you are, checking out that video over there. But also, let me know with the whole furlough decoy noise situation. I'm putting out 2 videos a day, how you guys are liking that, and also just any other feedback you have. I like to hear different ways to improve the channel. But thanks for stopping by.